Hello everyone, so I thought I would share a little project I've been working on for a while, just while stuff for the battery management system arrives. I had a problem with it. I forgot to add something into the design, then I sent it off to JLC PCB to be manufactured, and that was it there, but I forgot to add in a component to the design, so I've had to do it again, which is a bit of a pain, but these things happen. So this is not entirely my design. It's a modification of a design on Thingiverse, which I've modified, but I'm going to give credit and everything and show where it came from. So it's a Bose style speaker. It's not finished yet at all. This is just sort of a half finished design, proof of concept, and it's got a lot of space in the bottom for you to put like maybe batteries or an amplifier module, stuff like that. It's pretty basic. That's a TPA module. I can't remember the exact number, but what I'll do is give all the links to all the parts. It uses 40mm drivers. They're the cheap Chinese version of the ones that are used in the Bose SoundLink Mini. So as for sound quality, it does sound really good until there's a lot of bass and you turn it up to high volumes. It's like there's sort of resonance in the bass channels, which I cannot seem to figure out why it's happening. It's just I did not acoustically engineer it, I just sort of messed about with it basically. This was the first version, and as you can see the bass channels go all the way down, and when I put the speakers in it and tried it, it was very loud, but the frequency that was being boosted by these channels was too high, so it didn't have any bass at all, but it was very loud, which wasn't ideal. And so to try and get the correct size of the bass channels, I just sort of turned it upside down, placed it on a sheet of foam, and then just stuffed foam down in the bottom until the bass channel size got reduced to the point where I was getting a deeper bass response. Because those channels in there are just far too big for the 40mm drivers, and thus the amplified frequency is just going to be too high, and you're not going to get much bass at all from that. So this is the design which I copied by this user here. This is the original one. As you can see, his version is a lot nicer than mine, and it's also larger too. My one, I think, is half the size of this one, and mine is going to be live in 24 hours, but I've just uploaded it here, so you can download the files yourself and have a play around with it. So I'll now go on to show you the exact speakers and amplifier that are used. The amplifier is TPA 316D2, and for this particular application the speakers are 4 ohms, so I'm running it on usually about 14 volts, but anything between 12 and 14 volts will be fine. But this amplifier could drive 8 ohm speakers as well, and you could supply it with 24 volts. So these are the speakers that I used. There are many sellers selling them. So they're 10 watts, and I found them to be pretty good. You can get them cheaper than this. This is actually just quite an expensive listing, but I managed to get them for, I think it was £10 each, or I think you can get them sometimes for about just over £5 each. But that's them there, and they're pretty decent. They've got very good movement on them and good bass as well. So what I'm about to do is pretty pointless, because well, the microphones on this camera are nothing like the shape of the human ear, so it's just not going to convey anything but maybe give an idea of loudness. I don't know. But when I'm listening to it, there's quite a good depth to the sound, and it's sort of like it's filling the space with sound. It's pretty good because of the bass channel in the back. So I'll give you a few seconds, but there's not a lot of point anyway. yeah, if you turn it up too loud, it will distort and sound crap. It's better just listening to this at maybe lower volumes. But the thing is, you can actually help it by using equalization. So if you look here, I have got a bit of equalization going on. I never had the equalization there, by the way, while you're listening to it. But usually these small Bluetooth speakers use what's called smart amplifiers, and they actually use equalization so you can get the best sound possible out of the speakers. If you don't use equalization at all, you're not going to get the best out of the speakers. And I think it's Texas Instruments that make them. They're called smart amps, but they're very difficult to implement because they don't actually have an analog audio input on them. So you can't really use them for DIY projects like this, unless you're really advanced, more advanced than me at this. But they like limit current to the speaker, increase bass when the volume is lower, so you get bigger sound and stuff like that. So we're not getting the best sound possible out of this.